I was convinced my dad was the president of the country, maybe even the world. He was just that busy, always in a meeting or on a plane or about to hop onto an urgent call. Whenever he'd be rushing off with a head pat and Mom saw my sad face, she'd just say, "Don't cry, Abby. How about we send Daddy off with a smile instead of tears? That way, he knows we're proud of him." Turns out, he was just the president of his own company. And whatever his reasons, eventually I just got used to him hardly being around. Not even when I was 14 and Mom got really sick. Not even when she slipped into a coma and the house fell too quiet. And when Dad announced a few months later that his girlfriend Kimberly, who looked closer to my age than his, was moving in, I didn't cry or make a fuss. When he wasn't working, he was out, somewhere with her, and I was alone at home, which was nothing new. But soon after I turned 17, my whole world flipped upside down when I found out, on the news by the way, that Dad got arrested for embezzling millions of dollars. I had no idea where he was being held. Kimberly vanished faster than her credit card limit at a Louis Vuitton sale, and none of my friends came to visit. But a social worker turned up soon.
I'm sorry, sweetheart, but we tried Kimberly, your aunt, even a few of your father's friends, but no one on his side is able to take you in right now. Your mom's parents, however, are more than happy to. The only thing is, they live overseas.
Yeah, in Thailand. I'm not moving to the other side of the planet.
I understand it's a lot of changes, but you don't have any other relatives. Either way, it'll take a few months for the paperwork. So, for now, you'll be placed in foster care.
And just like that, in one night, I went from a private jet designer clothes kind of girl to a foster kid whose whole life fit into a couple of cardboard boxes. After hours of driving, we finally reached some middle-of-nowhere town at 3 a.m. We turned down a creepy forest path and stopped at a tiny house with the lights on. A suspiciously cheerful woman stood outside, and behind her, a boy squinted at me like I was going to steal his snacks.
Hello, Abigail. I'm Jadis, and this is Ezra. He's been in foster care for a while. Can we call you Abby?
Only my friends call me Abby.
Got it. Well, let me show you to your bedroom. You must be exhausted.
More like completely dead inside. I curled up in bed, but I just couldn't fall asleep. I don't know if it was the cramped room or the fact that I found a bunch of cheap crystals shoved under the old mattress. But once I tossed them out, I finally managed to doze off. I woke up around noon, feeling disoriented.
Good afternoon, sleepyhead. Must have been the crystals I put under your mattress. They never fail.
In daylight, I realized the house wasn't just tiny. It was weird. The kitchen was a jungle of odd plants. The dining table was buried under books in unrecognizable languages. And 4 cats were staring at me like they knew something I didn't. One of them, I'm not even sure was a cat. When I got back to my room, I found Jadis folding my clothes on the floor. My designer clothes!
I've enrolled you in the public school here. Are these the only outfits you have?
Yeah? Something wrong with them? She shook her head, but the next morning, I understood why she'd asked. Everyone at school looked like they had rolled straight out of bed. Like, do these people not have TikTok? No way they're that poor. They've definitely got Wi-Fi. But the longer the day dragged on, the more it felt like I was the one completely out of touch. I tried to ignore the giggles and side eyes, but then I heard this gem.
Dude, isn't she the daughter of that billionaire guy who stole, like, oceans of cash?
I was so embarrassed that the second I got home, I marched straight into my room and slammed the door behind me.
Everything okay? Your grandparents called today. They really want to talk to you, Abby.
Don't call me that.
She's just throwing a tantrum. First-timers always do. Let her cry it out.
That smug little gremlin. I jumped off the bed and yanked the door open. Who do you think you're talking about? I'm not some stray off the street like you.
Abigail, that's enough. We don't yell in this house. You owe Ezra.
At least I know what I am. You're just a rich, clueless girl who thinks she's better than the rest of us. But let's face it, you're here because your dad didn't care enough about you, and no one else wanted to clean up the mess he left behind.
You little... I lunged at him, and we went full WWE until Jadis jumped in. Don't ever talk about my dad again. He's a good person. You'll see. You'll all see. I slammed the door hard, but an hour later, there was a soft knock, and Jadis walked in with a plate of cookies.
Fresh from the oven. Do you think we can talk?
What? You think if you send some cookies and warm smiles my way, I'll spill my life story to you and we'll become best friends?
Oh no, Sweet Pea, I'm here to help you.
That's what everyone says. The cops, the social worker, and now you. But so far, everyone's failing miserably.
Let me rephrase that. I can help your father if you believe he deserves a second chance. Do you really think your dad is a good person?
I knew Dad wasn't perfect, and all the evidence mounting up against him wasn't looking good. But yeah, I didn't really believe he was a criminal. Of course I do. She pulled out a golden pocket watch.
You get 3 chances, that's all. You can go back as far as you want. Days, months, years. Just not before you were born. So choose wisely.
And then she just walked out. I stared at the pocket watch she'd left on the bed, and suddenly all I felt was rage. This was her idea of helping me? I grabbed it and chucked it against the wall.